Happy Wednesday, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here for my video. Well, you know what? First I have to tell you that some days just don't go totally as planned, which is good. You have to take things as they come. Sometimes opportunities come up, like I had my friend Sue. I needed to give her something and she said she was going to be out and about, and I said, oh, you know, if you're here, and she says, well, I might be able to, and so she said, oh, let me come over, and we sat and chatted a while. Well, I did not like work in advance to do the video and the block and the blog post and the photographs for it. So I am taping this late afternoon on Tuesday, which is not my normal thing, but it's fine. Okay, so our block for this summer soiree is all about the music. First, I want to show you how I went about selecting the fabric. Picking the fabric for this one was pretty fun because I have 6 blocks done now, so I'm starting to really look at the colors and play around with the balance so that I'll move the blocks around. They won't go in the order, and for my quilt they won't go in the order that we made them. You can do yours that way. It's just I know that I will be happier to shuffle them around. And at this point I might even look a little bit at the sashing color. So first let's look at the block itself, the fabrics as I worked through them for the beautiful tunes. So it's pretty much like a black-white, yin and yang kind of a piece where you could just do 2 fabrics, but I'll show you just some options that I messed around with. One is to use the background fabric that I have on the supply list. So I didn't use that in many of the blocks. I think I've only used it in 1. The rest I'm using, 2. There's 2 with some background. The rest have all this other pattern in it. So that would be one, and then I could go really very solid, maybe not that green since it's the same fabric. So here's another green. So I could go like the full red because I want to add more red, and then just do the squares out of green. So that would give me, we got the same, there we go. The red and then the squares in green. Now you could also take the green down here, I guess, if I wanted, but I don't want to do that bold of a red. I don't want to do it that heavy because this is half of a 12-inch block. So that's going to read like half of a, a 12-inch block is just solid red with this particular fabric. So I am going to look at using the one that has a little bit of green in it, and then if I pop the squares. So this background, the white flowers could blend a little bit, but I think it's high enough contrast that's not going to happen. But what if I wanted to use a little different background? So I thought, well, there's a gray in this line. So what if I used the gray fabric? Let's open it up so we get a little bigger piece of it. What if I had the gray and half of it then was this red? So there, that's still got high enough contrast, and then I could do these greens. The thing with using this gray as a background is that it doesn't play that well with everything else. Everything else is much lighter, so this is not going to be a good option. But if it were not playing with all of these, it would be a good option. Then I thought, well, what about this print? Picking one of the prints. So, which would I pick? Here's one I haven't used yet. So I could do the red and the green like that, and that would bring in a little bit of this pumpkin color, plus it has some little bit of black dots in it, and that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Then I wondered, well, maybe I should bring in a little bit of black because a lot of them have black in the blocks. That one doesn't, but I think 3 of them do and 3 of them don't. So bringing in black is a good thing. So there would be, if I brought in black, or I could just bring in black up here like this, the red and black on this sort of pumpkin. But I think I'm going to go back to this background fabric. So I'll do the red, and I think the green, and maybe the black in here. So actually we'll use 3 fabrics so I can pull some black into this instead of just using, these two these 2 in the spots. Pull in a 3rd or 4th one if you count the background. Now another thing I want to tell you is on the background fabric that is on the supply list, I first took what I gave you in there in the supply list and I cut all of the sashing from it, and then now I have this much left, which is, you know, a good chunk of fabric that I can use in any of the background blocks that I want. So I can freely use this on the next block, so that's why I wanted to use it on this one. So I have a couple of them with that background fabric. Now in our Whiskey in a Teacup book, because we're talking about favorite music and music for a soiree, normally at a soiree, if you read the definition, because it is a small intimate party is the official definition, there would also be some sort of small band playing or classical music playing, that kind of a soiree. That is the traditional term of it. What I loved reading about is that Reese Witherspoon has two sections that I've found so far that are heavily on music, and one is Bluegrass Forever, and she talks about how growing up, the bluegrass was, you know, there, and the stars that played when she was a girl, you know, the people who played went on to be big stars, you know, like Loretta Lynn, you know, they were their local bands. The other one she has is a whole story about Dolly Parton and how Dolly Parton has been sort of a part of her life, and actually she's worked with Dolly Parton in her music business, and I mean in her movie business. So that's pretty interesting. So there's some nice, great sections here of music. So when you're making your block, be sure that you tell me something about the music that you love to listen to and would have at your soiree. So here we go. Ta-da! Here is the block all done up. I decided to use another fabric in here rather than using the background in here, which is how the pattern is done. You can do what works for you. You can play around. What happens is this creates a really strong color statement for this block. It's a 12.5-inch block, so half of it is this one color that you pick. That's why I was sort of, you know, wanting something that wasn't reading as solid, so that it wouldn't be this sort of big solid unit. Now the pattern also, I have a bonus project of putting it in repeat, and the size for the one here is 48 by 48 square, but you could, you know, make it longer or wider if you wanted. But wouldn't that be cool? I could just see this, and then you could do them scrappy. You could do this as all different red, you know, each block had a different red fabric. You could do different greens here. You could even do different lights if you wanted to, or you could keep that part the same. So there we go. Fun, fun, fun. I love it. Okay, mail call, mail call. I have a mail call from Anne. So Anne sent me this super cute card. It says, I knew this was a bad idea when mummies don't when mummies don't own cats. Why they don't own cats. I can't read and talk at the same time. Super cute. But she sent me a Halloween, some owls. Look, there's an owl all wrapped up like a mummy, like Melissa's mummy of her little boy. So darling. Look at them. I like this guy with the star dangling off his cap, his little hat. And then she sent me a few edges for my future quilt of edges. Future is the key word. All right, I wanted to show you the Sew Sampler box because I know it has been revealed, but I don't look at mine until afterwards, and I don't look at the reveal because I want to be surprised. This is my surprise. This is my fun time. So the Sew Sampler is a subscription box from the Fat Quarter Shop. Let's see what's in it. There's always a theme. Here we go. So the theme is wild and free. Super cute. And then on the back of this will be a discount. So this month you get a discount on Fat 8 bundles and on the Olfa Endurance blades. So if you are a subscriber, you'll get a discount code on the back of here. Be sure to use that, quilters. Be sure to use that. That makes your box so worthwhile. I mean, it is an incredible deal. Okay, what do we have in here? Some really pretty fabric. Christmas Morning from Lila Boutique. My friend Vanessa. So let's just open it. Yeah, gotta open it. Gotta see it. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. All right, yeah, you wanna see it too, don't you? Not just me. So there we go. It's beautiful florals in white. I like this gray with the white on it. Doesn't that look classic? Wouldn't this be pretty in a wreath quilt? Here's a red, and then there's some holly on gray, holly on red, and then there's a white on white with the little flowers. Same thing on gray and on red. Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? She does really beautiful fabric. And then there's one with little quilt blocks on it on gray, a chevron, a polka dot, and another polka dot. So this is just part of that Christmas line. I know there's a giant floral in it. I'm pretty sure I saw that. And then there's always an exclusive pattern that comes to use the fabrics. So here is the pattern to use the fabrics that comes with the box. But these can be used for anything. You don't have to make it into that pattern, or you could do that pattern in some other fabrics if you want to use these for another project. So gorgeous. Okay, what else do we get in here? The Steady Betty. Okay, so I'm going to show you this, and because I can't read it while I'm showing it to you, I am going to look what it read in here. In the little card, you get the little card here. This is the material that their Steady Betty boards are made out of. So here's the material. You put it on the back of your rulers to keep the fabric from sliding. Cool. And an endurance blade, which is my absolute newest favorite blade in forever. It is awesome. If you've not tried an endurance blade, you really, really must try an endurance blade. Ah, these are little string cutters. So they're just like, looks like you can press them anywhere. Like this got a little, yeah, so there's string blades. This tiny cutter comes with a recessed blade and adhesive backing so that you can cut the thread wherever you need it. So if you're a thread cutter, maybe you want to stick one on your machine, maybe you want to put one of these in your sewing kit so that you can take it along with you. You can put it, here's another suggestion. This is a good one. Put it by your ironing board or adhere it to your ironing board somehow. I wonder if you could put this on the leg of your ironing board. So you always get like stray things, you just clip them off. All right. It's a great box. Great, great box. I love it. All right, my friend, you are going to be quite musical this week and do up your block for your fanciest tunes, and tell me when you submit this what your favorite kind of music is. Well, you're not submitting it, you're going to show it. Go along with Pat Sloan over at Facebook, where anybody can join, because my group is public, open to the world. You don't even have to be in Facebook. You can come on over. Links are down below. Please hit that subscribe. Mwah. I love you. See you next time.